Welcome back to the deep dive, where we take a close look at a stack of sources and try to figure out what's really going on. Today, we're going to do a deep dive into something pretty unusual.
Yeah, we've got news articles and financial data about this brand new cryptocurrency. It's called Trump Coin. And the crazy thing is, it launched just days before, President Trump's second inauguration. It's already causing quite a stir, like in the crypto world. I mean, we're talking billions of dollars in market cap here. So let's try to unpack the facts and figure out like what this all means, and maybe even get a glimpse into the future of, this whole wild situation. So first things first, what exactly is Trump Coin?
Well, it's what they call a meme coin. Think, Dogecoin or Shiba Inu. According to the official website, it launched on January 17th, 2025. And most of these meme coins, it doesn't really have any real utility. Its value is all about hype and community engagement, that kind of thing. Okay, so we've got this meme coin, and it's connected to President Trump's brand, which is pretty interesting on its own. But then you look at the market performance and things get really crazy. The charts show this incredible rise. It went from just a few cents at launch to, get this, an all-time high of $33.87 in less than 24 hours. The price has, come down a bit since then, but it's still around $26 with a market cap of over $5 billion. I mean, that puts it in the top 30 cryptocurrencies in the whole world. And there are all these stories going around about early investors making insane returns. One trader reportedly turned $150,000 into $1.1 million. Another one turned $800 into over $310,000. That's some serious money. It just shows how speculative these meme coins are. You could win big or lose big. I mean, it kind of reminds me of the .com bubble or maybe even tulip mania. Have we really not learned anything from the past?
Yeah, those are good comparisons. The frenzy around meme coins does kind of echo those historical bubbles. But with meme coins, there's this extra layer of irony almost. It's like they embrace how absurd it all is, like they're winking at the risk involved.
But we can't forget that this isn't just some random meme coin out there. This is directly tied to the former president of the United States, and that definitely raises questions about ownership and potential profits. From what I've read, 80% of these Trump coin tokens are owned by two companies, CIC Digital LLC and Fight LLC, which are both reportedly connected to the Trump organization. So it sounds like companies linked to President Trump could make a lot of money from this.
Right. And the fact that those holdings will be unlocked over 3 years just makes it more intriguing. It creates this long-term financial interest for the Trump organization in how well this meme coin does. The website doesn't really explain how profits will be, distributed, but the potential for a conflict of interest is definitely there.
Yeah, especially when you consider that we're talking about a really volatile asset here. And the fact that that a former president has a personal stake in its success, it's pretty unprecedented. So it's not surprising that watchdog groups are worried about, potential ethical issues.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely raises questions about undue influence and conflicts of interest, especially with, the anonymous nature of cryptocurrency.
Right. I mean, we're used to seeing politicians endorse products, but this feels different. It's not just an endorsement. It's direct involvement in something that's super risky. And speaking of regulations, it's interesting to think about Gary Gensler's legacy, the outgoing SEC chair, and his whole approach to crypto. His time at the SEC was marked by a really strict interpretation of securities laws. He wasn't afraid to, take action against crypto projects. And some people are saying that this strict approach actually pushed innovation away from utility tokens, the ones designed for a specific purpose, and it kind of pushed it towards these meme coins instead. What do you think? Is there any truth to that?
Well, there's a growing argument that Gensler's approach created this safe harbor of absurdity.
Yeah.
Meme coins basically avoid regulatory scrutiny because they're not pretending to be securities or anything like that. They kind of embrace the fact that they have no real use, which ironically might be their biggest advantage right now with the way regulations are.
So instead of trying to navigate all these complex rules, these meme coin creators are basically saying, hey, we're just a joke, right? Don't take us seriously. And that actually protects them in a way. And it's clearly not stopping people from investing. We've already seen how much money some people have made. But the big question is this sustainable? Can a meme coin that's only driven by hype and President Trump's brand, can it really hold its value over time? Or is this all just going to, crash and burn?
It's definitely a gamble.
Yeah.
Meme coins are notoriously volatile. Some of them have managed to, hold their value. but most of them experience these huge price swings. So the question is, can Trump coin, defy the odds and become more than just this internet fad?
And how has the rest of the crypto world reacted to all of this? I imagine there are some mixed feelings out there.
Well, there's definitely a lot of buzz about Trump being back in office. A lot of crypto executives are hoping for, a more crypto-friendly environment. But when it comes to Trump coin specifically, the reactions are, they're mixed. Some people think it's this brilliant marketing ploy, a way to reach a whole new group of investors. But others see it as, just a cash grab. They think it could hurt the credibility of the whole industry.
So we've got this meme coin. It's tied to a former president. It's doing incredibly well in the market, and it's raising these serious ethical and regulatory questions. What a story. But we're just getting started. Stick with us. We're going to dive deeper into the potential consequences of all of this after the break. So we've been talking about Trump coin and this whole unexpected rise and how it's kind of shaking up the crypto world. But what I think is really interesting is how this whole thing, it shows us some of the blind spots in how we think about regulation. Gary Gensler with his tough stance at the SEC, he was trying to protect investors, but he might have accidentally pushed some of that innovation towards, meme coins that kind of exist in this gray area, right? Yeah. It's like when you squeeze one end of a balloon, the air just pops out somewhere else.
Yeah, it really shows you how, even when you have good intentions with regulations, they can have these unintended consequences. While the SEC was busy cracking down on what they saw as securities violations, these meme coins, with their they're so absurd and they don't claim to have any real use, so they were able to just slip under the radar.
It's like they found this loophole by being so out there, So I wonder how regulators are going to adapt to this new reality. I mean, you have a former president who's directly involved in a meme coin. Are they going to try to rein it in, or is this just the new normal?
It's a tough one. On one hand, they have to, protect investors from fraud and manipulation, right? Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, if they come in too heavy with regulations, it could stifle innovation and, drive everything underground. Finding that balance is, it's going to be really important.
And what about the political side of all this? Could we see other politicians doing the same thing as Trump, launching their own token? Imagine every election cycle, we get this wave of, campaign-themed meme coins.
I mean, it's possible. Could make things even more blurry between politics, finance, and entertainment. But it also comes with a lot of risk. People start seeing these tokens as just cynical ways to make money. It could really damage the trust people have in both politicians and the crypto industry. Transparency and accountability are going to be really key if this trend keeps going.
There's so much to think about here. We've got the ethical stuff, the regulatory questions, and now the political implications. It's like Trump coin has become this focal point for all these complex issues. But even with all the controversy, one of the articles we read actually argued that this whole saga, it could be a good thing for crypto in the long run. The idea is that even if it's just a meme coin, with no real use, it's introducing a ton of people to the concept of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, it's like the gateway drug idea. People are buying and trading and engaging with the technology, even if it's just for fun or, to try and make a quick profit. The hope is that this exposure could lead them to explore other crypto projects that are more established, the ones with real world applications.
So Trump coin, as crazy as it sounds, could actually help crypto become more widely adopted in everyday life.
Yeah, it's an optimistic view, but it depends on whether people will move past the meme coin frenzy and really engage with the technology in a more meaningful way. We'll have to wait and see if that happens.
So we've talked about the downsides, but what about the other side of the coin? Could Trump coin's success actually make this whole meme coin craze even bigger? Could we end up in a situation where meme coins, driven by hype and speculation, they become the dominant force in the market? They overshadow the projects that have real utility and value.
It's a valid concern. It's hard to resist those quick profits, and if meme coins keep giving these huge returns, it could pull attention away from the projects that are actually trying to build real-world solutions. It raises this fundamental question about the future of cryptocurrency. Is it all about speculation and hype, or will it actually live up to its promise as this, transformative technology?
It's like we're at a crossroads. One path leads to a future where crypto is like integrated into our lives, powering new technologies and creating economic opportunities. And the other path leads to a world where it's mostly about speculation and maybe even manipulation. I guess it all comes down to whether people will see past the hype and recognize the real potential of this technology. Because even though meme coins get all the attention, they're not the whole story. There's a whole world of innovative projects out there that are trying to solve real problems, and that's what we need to focus on if we want crypto to reach its full potential. It's not just about making money fast. It's about building a future that's more fair and sustainable for everyone.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point.
It's pretty wild to think that something like, a meme coin, something that seems so silly, could actually start this big conversation about the future of, well, everything. Yep. Technology, finance, even democracy,
Yeah, it really shows how disruptive cryptocurrency is. It's making us face some uncomfortable truths about the systems we have now and grapple with questions that we wouldn't have even, thought about a few years ago.
Like, what is technology's role in our lives? How do we balance innovation with ethical conduct? Can we actually use crypto for good, or will it always just be, taken over by people who want to benefit themselves?
And those are questions that go way beyond just cryptocurrency. They're questions we all need to be asking as we navigate this world that's getting more and more complex and interconnected.
Yeah, it's true. And Trump coin, as strange as it is, has become this weird catalyst for that conversation. It's like a mirror, it's reflecting back all the contradictions and uncertainty we're dealing with.
Exactly. It reminds us that we're not just, watching this all happen. We're part of it. And the choices we make now will shape what happens next.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Trump coin, what's the main takeaway for our listeners? What do we want them to remember?
I think the most important thing is don't be afraid to question things. Don't just accept things at face value, whether it's a news headline, a tweet, or even a meme coin that seems ridiculous.
Right. Do your own research, think critically, and talk to other people. Have those conversations. Because the future of cryptocurrency, and really the future of everything, depends on us making informed and responsible choices together.
I think that's a great point.
Yeah. Well, it's been great having you on the show.
It's been a pleasure.
And to all our listeners out there, keep exploring, keep learning, and as always, stay curious.